저 우수수 하늘 가득 흩날릴 때 빛깔 잃고 향기 멎은들 그 누가 슬퍼하나. 꽃 갈퀴 손에 들고 뜰을 나섰건만 떨어진 꽃잎 밟을까 서성거리네. 그러니까 결국 이 풍진 세상 눈을 감지 않는다면 벗어날 도리가 없겠지.
Hi, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just here. No script, no pre-rep, just finished Canto 8 and I slept on it. And I'm just gonna talk about it. I really just have nothing really like important or nothing really special to say. It's just that I don't know. I don't know. But still, I guess if I, it's only thing, I guess the main thing I want to say is I think this canto is solid. I think this canto is like I think it's the most like pretty. It's the most like solid all around canto. Like in other parts, in other cantos you can tell like when a place gets a bit rough, or when something just might not be up as like things are. Because like even just looking apart from the cinematic, like the background art looks super nice. Like all the characters that appeared were like good enough. Like everything felt like it had a role, and Hanlu just gradually kept on growing. And well, I think all this worked out. Like I think let's look, for example, let's look back at part 1, where like I think part 1 was like a good introduction because we've already been in H Corp for a while, and we get to see the beginning characters, a bit more of like Hanlu's like personality towards like coming back home. It's less like crazy than how Heathcliff was, because he knew it was his bell was tolling, and Dawn just didn't know what was happening. And just seeing characters that like Hanlu knew and Hanlu interacted with them, you can see why a lot of people just didn't like him. If like, this guy acted so passively towards a lot of things in life, like I wouldn't like him either. And this, it's just a good like setup for everything. Even going towards the like the first part of the challenge of the showing the immortality, it was just a good showing of like how deranged this corp is as well. So I'd say part 1 was just nice, and everything part was nice. Seeing the thumb as well was good. Signing End Corp again, that's also cool. And then part 1 ending with a simple like assassin ambush, which nothing big. I don't really care that these guys like didn't come back. Like let me see, the Night Drifter of the Drunken Palm. I don't care if he came back. He was just a good one-off guy. He gave in, got his kill, and left. Yeah, that's his life in the city. Like these guys have a job. They killed the guy. Why should he stay any longer? Another thing I like is like Gia. Just Gia being like all throughout all the parts, and how she acts is also important to how Hanlu acts, because she changed because Hanlu changed, and everyone changed because of Hanlu. I mean, what else can I say? I guess part 2, like going to part 2 being a dungeon is a lot better than just always the dungeons being at part 3, because I actually hate dungeons. Dungeons are just one of the most annoying thing to get through. Why? Because you're stuck in like the same level over and over again. You can't really change your loadout. You can't even level up. You can't even like see how you can like change anything. The second you go in, if you make it to like the final floor, final boss, and you realize your guys are just not up on the snuff, you're basically forced to go out of the dungeon, level up everything, and go through everything again. That's what I did like back in like Canto 7. I realized my guys just weren't ready, and I had to redo the entire Canto. And now I can't even do it. Thing is, I want to show gameplay of like me fighting the boss of the second part again, but like I have to go through the entire thing again. Please, Project Moon, give us a way to fight bosses without going through the entire dungeon. Yeah, part 2 was fine. Part 2 was fine as well. Let's talk about characters at the moment. Ying Dang, the thumb guy, he's such an asshole, but he's cool. because he's like he has that flavor, that he has that aura. JQ, I don't know if I pronounced his right. Like he basically was the star of part 2. Like how he just acted was just so great. And people thought he was just your more simple, like antagonistic, like big force. But I'm not calling him a softie, but he's more complex, which I would say makes it good for like in general. And like the whole story of part 2 being the whole fall of H Corp that we heard of before in like the Arbiter's Garian story, and having the Arbiter show up as well, that's cool. Of course, you have to talk about the white chair and the parasol in the corner. It's so cool. And seeing how like Hanlu was forced to witness everything because surrender witnessing, that's cool. That's super cool. Because you see a lot of this character, which usually a lot of other cantos, they leave that character crap till part 3, which is weird. Like it's like introduction, maybe the fallout, and then more and more that intro character stuff happens in part 3. That happens in Canto 7 by the way, where Dawn doesn't really get anything until the Canto which goes into it. But Hanlu, he gets everything, basically he gets everything in his part 2. More about why he became more passive, how he started to get that smile, that lies to everything, and how people started to hate him more and more, and how he was forced to witness as those birds mauled up the entire Kong family. And GMU was also just a terrible person, but grandmother's gonna grandmother. And so that's part 2. I think this is like one of the best part 2s to date. It might it's gonna rival Canto's 5 Ricardo, Canto 5 with the Ricardo fight, Canto 6 with the boss back to back with like the Heathcliff question mark, and I mean Canto 7 was a flop. I mean I'm saying this is my second time flagging on Canto 7. I'm making a whole video about that, but that's gonna come much later. Part 3, I don't know. Thing is, like part 3, I was there at the beginning. Like I like midnight when the update came out. I thought, okay, I want to do part 3, and I was tired, but I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed how it may seem like a happy ending already. We knew shit is still gonna happen. Like the whole talk about, since Ji Chun, who won the tournament, or since we helped her win the tournament, since she hasn't officially ascended the throne yet, all these forces are outside the gates, just ready to take chair, take arm, and like do something. It's cool. It was creepy. It's like there might be another wing war, and everyone was scared about that. But hey, we stopped that, which is cool. And how GQ really shows his like more honest side. He was always honest, but he's more like cooperative side. How like, hey, work with us, and we're like, oh, Hanlu was like, oh, okay, cause I want to help Ji Chun, and dude, that's cool. That's cool. That's a lot of like Hanlu growth that a lot of characters don't get to like the third part, because Hanlu got beaten the frick out of in part 2, asking what GQ action, like, what does Hyungan mean? And like, please Hanlu, please answer it, because I don't want to get beat down by 50 more unclashable coins. But anyways, I did also like Jia Bochai, Z Bochai, I'm pronouncing the name right, but that's fine, and Lin Dayu. They're both cool characters, and more reflects on Hanlu as like a more passive observer, because one basically a girl who's like so uppity, getting ready to marry him. The other has a relationship, like Lin Dayu with Hanlu. They can't be together because servant and like master. And I do think it's funny how like Heathcliff just understood that. I think, oh, I feel you, man. I feel her, that man. And well, I'm happy both of them still live. I think now going through part 3, like a lot more negative I can say is, I guess, how just the length, because it took me like part 3 took me like at least 6 hours just to get to the final boss, and an additional like 3 hours just to just not even the final boss itself, of all the cutscenes and stuff, 3 hours. But yeah, part 3 has the issue with just we have random fight, random fight, random fight, random fight, random fight. And these fights, they don't really add anything. You guys are just walking away. They don't really give us any more lore deets, because I don't know. Because Hanlu doesn't get anything much more until we reach the temple itself. And so, so a lot of this was just fluff until we reach the dreaded part 830, which a lot of people don't like. A lot of people think is so like broken in terms of like everything. I enjoyed it. I beat it pre-nerfed. I'm not flexing that because I was there at night doing it. But I didn't beat the final boss. I don't know if the final boss got nerfed because everyone was talking about 830. But I beat 830 pre-nerf. That's fine. But yeah, I do think he was too overtuned. Like a lot of burn, a lot of tremor, and his attack was just way too powerful. I do think an issue of him spawning guys in when like you're not ready for that, and this guy's still clashing with his full strength. Because if you spawn in more guys and the main guy is still like fighting at full strength, that's an issue. But still, I do think him being nerfed to the ground is a bit sucky because there's a lot of powerful team comps and IDs you can use to like beat guys like this. Like I tried to use sinking, but that failed. Like near the very end it failed. I thought, alright, I was still gonna use rupture. And rupture is now good because all the rupture IDs they've given us, like Heisho, Faust, and the other Heisho IDs were all good. Rip Talisman though, we lost a real one today. But yeah, I do like Lin Hang, how he fought Zulu with that one Mang, the one like Halo thing. Like that just shows how much of a rude guy he is. And the whole like blessing thing that we got, like Chess's memory, we got like when Hanlu asked us as like a first time Hanlu trying to like, hey, what should we do? That shows growth. That shows us wanting to also help out Hanlu. And having that blessing appear not at the final boss, but for like another guy, that's good. Also, thank the heavens GQ came in and saved us. And so we move on to I guess the pre-final fight against N-Corp. I dislike that fight. I dislike this fight really much, way too much. I think it's way too compact, way too like out of nowhere. Like I saw the amount of characters fight, I thought, oh, we're gonna fight the Elders. We didn't fight the Elders. We fought N-Corp. And I got my butt kicked. It took me like at least 2 tries, but like that was when like I gave up trying to like make sure my center stayed alive. So I just did like more willy nilly. MVP of the N-Corp fight will be Sancho manager. Good, thank you for always being a good unit. But still, these guys are fine. We're gonna see more of them later on as we clash with N-Corp a lot more. And I guess finally, the finale, the fight against GMU. It's okay. It's okay. Everyone keeps talking about not her, but like the Li Hang fight or the N-Corp fight or all the other stuff happening. GMU, we've seen how bad she was in the middle, in the second part. So actually fighting her, it's fine. The elders were all disgustingly creepy, and us being here the rest of Jichu against the elders, the grandmother, and the worm. I hate that worm. And the thing is, like, the fight wasn't that bad. It just took me a while because I screwed up a bit and I didn't kill the worm early enough and I got staggered a lot. But thankfully, my Faust stayed alive. But yeah, the thing is, like, the thing about this game is like, it's gotcha. If you have the units, just use the teams you want. I ran Rupture throughout the ending parts. I wanted to run Sinking, but it would have taken too long. So I think generally the final fight was nice. It was a nice climactic end. I did enjoy when like Hanlu started to break out of the shell of not being the Jade anymore. And I'll talk about the Lily song a bit. The Lily song is nice. It's better than Hero. Another Canto 7 slander, but I don't care. It's better than Hero. It has a groovy beat, which is like, it's not supposed to be that like depressing because it's Hanlu's like main like fighting against the elders. It's not like a whole like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Because Hanlu's always gonna remain passive, but he's gonna have a bit more like oomph in him now, be able to like share all these emotions that he thought he wasn't allowed to have anymore. And the final cutscene is beautiful. The final cutscenes is way too well. It felt like they got that anime budget. It was smooth. It was like pretty. It was like gorgeous. It's not as cinematic as like the end of Canto 6 or the end of Canto 7 or like Canto 5 as well. But it's like it's worth it though. It's good. Also, Hanlu in the middle of the fight talking about all the happiness, the wrath, the sorrow, the joy, they saw throughout all the characters, how he couldn't have that himself, but now he wants to. It's nice. It's nice. And us getting the golden bow is another good thing. Good thing. And so, I guess that's really it I want to talk about. Last thoughts. I think GHQ and Zulu both being part of the Pinky was cool. GHQ just destroying Li Hang with the 5 meg attack. That's also cool. Showing that when the real king steps into the ring, you know that the fake king steps down. Also, lore about the Pinky, being that they're like more like a side group. They're fingers, sure, but not really like a main like organization like the thumb or the index and all that stuff. That makes it unique. I saw some posts saying that they're a bunch of like federal agents pretending to be like a gang. I think that'd be funny, but I don't think so. But yeah, Millie's song was nice. I will listen to it. Better than Hero. The ending having a lot less like random characters dying. Like a lot of the siblings, they didn't really die. A lot of characters we met didn't really die. Like the elders are still stuck under the temple. The grandmother is still stuck under the temple. Jiachun is still alive. Wei is still alive. GQ and Hizulu and his advisor is still alive. Like Yindao is still alive. Mochai is still alive. It's all nice. No unnecessary deaths. Just a happy ending for Han Lu. And I also enjoyed I guess final thing, his pass on is nice. I like his pass on. I like how it's not in the bus, showing that we're still sticking around H Corp for a bit. And I guess that's all. Congratulations Han Lu for having a very good canto. I hope you find, we're just telling you, your kite is still out there, man. It never left. Like how you never changed. Not really never changed, but like more like you don't need to bother yourself up anymore and just be that gem of the family. You're your own person, and your own person deserves, you know, to see life through your own eyes, not through the elders, not through anyone else's. I guess that's it. That's just the ramblings of one person who just wanted to talk a bit about the canto. Yeah, that's all. If you beat it pre-nerf, I don't care. If you beat it post-nerf, I don't care. If you use Ruptured or any of the good IDs, don't let people talk down for you for beating something post-nerf. Because, okay, one last thing. There's no point of saying, I beat this pre-nerf, I beat this post-nerf, because you don't have time to beat things pre-nerf. Like, I was lucky I beat 830 pre-nerf. Because I did that the day of. Not even the day of, the night of. Like, if I waited like a couple more hours to get into it, if I went to sleep and woken up, it would have got nerfed. I actually I went to sleep, I woke back up at like around 11 or something. I came back to the game, oh, new update, so the fights got nerfed. Like, come on, give us time to just experience the fight more. Like, imagine like not being awake for the update drop. And then like, oh, you can't fight the fight, you know, how other people fought it because it got nerfed frame 1. So I think Limbus company, they need to like work out their fights more. Like make things difficult, but make things like not too difficult that they need to nerf it. Because this happens like every single time. Like every single final fight has just been nerfed immediately without anyone like at least trying it out yet. Okay. Yeah. Those snobs don't matter. What's next? I'm hyped for Ryoshu's chapter. That's it. I'm gonna listen to the Millie song when it comes out. Tien.